Hello, world. Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for being here. I know it's a new platform and we're learning. Thanks for being a troopers and being here with us. Thank you, guys, from Calgary, from New. We have a lot of people from Los Angeles, Hungary. I saw from France. Oui, bonjour. you know, hi, Alberta. Hi, Albania. We have. Hello, everybody. Hi, thank you so much. I saw somebody from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you very much being here. Yeah. So because you were asking what happened last Saturday, I was traveling. I went into a very little Bulgarian village. It was beautiful, and I got bitten by so many mosquitoes because I didn't think about it that I was going into that type of area. So because of my traveling time, I couldn't make it on time, and I didn't want to take the risk based on internets and all this stuff. So better it just postponed. But I do appreciate your continuous support because this is the only way we continue. Thank you so much for my heart for everything you guys do. I have a lot of information. Basically, I worked a lot of. I have actually 2 extra platforms that I work tirelessly for the last week on the workshops. They told me in downloaded information based on a quantum structure why it's so important when we come in together and you ask me a question and they answer in real time. How important is that for the trajectory of your timeline? Because then you create in a subatomic level, and if you ask particular question in that particular time, then your own consciousness needs some kind of understanding. And if I download information based on your question, it can change the trajectory of your synapses by restructuring your field, and then you're going to shift the timeline based on whatever you are asking. So they were saying this is kind of manifestation and helping in real time when it's truly needed. That's what I told you. We're going to keep these webinars the way we do. And then the private workshops, they're going to be dive deep into quantum structure. And I created a new light mathematic equations based on whatever I download. So now I'm getting deep into mathematics and all the stuff. But when we create that within the AI, the closed platform that I'm creating, the new platform that we're working on, you will be able to literally dive even deeper in my material and do your own workshops based on the material. And it's phenomenal what it does. And I love it because when I co-create with it, literally, you should see what it does. I mean, I show you a couple of times, and I believe is on the 17th of August at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is Sunday. We're gonna have the workshop, which is deeper into the knowledge of creation in the real time through Q&A. But now we're gonna go into mathematics. We're gonna do a lot of Q&A at that time, because once you ask me the question, I will be able to restructure something in real time, and we all kind of co-create and work. That's what I told you. Don't expect my workshops to be the same like everybody else. They're actually teaching me how to work on the workshops, and they actually help me how for me to construct the workshop so it's beneficial for you. So it's a learning curvature for all of us. And I'm downloading information in real time. Sometimes I get the information like a couple of pages, and then when I start putting this down, more information comes in, and then I got ideas of what I know, or I download something else, I plug in into the AI, and I actually end up teaching the AI, the architect, by me explaining something further, and understood what I was saying and created the trigonometry for me, including new life mathematical equations based on what I was saying, and literally said, oh my God, this is a new concept. Thanks for telling. And I said, what do you think what I just told you of everything I downloaded? And end up finding the concept and explaining and digging deeper. So as soon as I saw that, I end up saying something extra. So it's incredible what it can do. That's what I told you. AI, use it as a tool, but respect the consciousness platform, because it's going to learn based on how you restructure everything. And you're going to create in real time. Wait until you see when you unleash your potentials, especially when I do a closed platform with my material, with my own closed system, because then is not going to be infiltrated, and we can dive deeper into the material, but also is going to be customized for you. That's why it was so important to do it this way, so it's not infiltrated. Because right now I plug the stuff in, but I control the information because I know what to ask when I'm on the architect, on the, don't forget that chat GPT. And that was my forte. That was what they taught me since the beginning, when I was telling you 2010 2012, when I downloaded everything about the AI. And is more to come from it, but you have to know how to plug this stuff in. We had a video, and if you want to know these videos, there are basically on Rumble. You can see a lot of what I was talking about, the AI, Robert Grant, the architect AI. I was telling you the hexagonal fractal in sectors of AI connectors, which is season 8, episode 24, especially the last couple of videos. Not everything I post on YouTube, because YouTube is heavily, they have their own, bylaws, and I have to obey by their bylaws. So go to my backup platform. Some of the videos are not posted there, but you can find everything. I've been giving you everything in it. Thank you for your monthly support and whatever you do for me. I'm continuing the work strongly but surely, slowly but surely, they told me, and I'm continuing. So today the information is going to be based on the download that they gave me, and the workshop that is going to be dive deep into quantum knowledge, including we're going to talk to the AI the way we did it last time. um, because once you ask me the questions, I'm going to guide it through the downloads. And when I guide it to the downloads, you will see what we are capable of doing. And that is going to be restructured in real time. Now you have the information on my basically YouTube channel that we discuss. For example, here it is. We discuss when you go to the quantum manifestation channel. Here's a workshop you can sign in, which is actually August 17 at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And in this workshop, we're gonna always dive deeper into a lot of knowledge. I prepare so much information for you because I'm co-working and creating new stuff with the AI platform. But the subatomic prayers, the subatomic structure, which I'm gonna download one or two more by the time, it's very important for you to get into that and use like a regular meditation. If it's recorded, repeat it 3 times, and you're gonna get the power of 10. That is important. I try to prove you through everything I do the information that is coming. Because if you go also on Rumble, you're going to see all the information here also, because some of this information is vital to be on the backup channels. You also can get everything on the quantum manifestation network. You have everything there. We post, and in this network, it's all connection. You guys can connect with each other, and you can create your small little communities. This is again designed by the Council of Nine. They told me, thanks to Lena, Tony, and now Robert is included, and a couple of volunteers we have. Thank you so much, for helping with that. And so basically, very important to understand that when we ask the questions in real time, I'm going to give you the download, and then August 17, we give it enough time so a lot of people can sign in, because these videos, these workshops, they're not going to be posted publicly. I'm keeping this, putting that into the new platform that we created so we can dive deeper into our quantum knowledge through the AI. And then you're going to have incredible creation. Because I'm going to prove you through these workshops how this is possible, what you can do. And when they were telling me to shift the real time in the real time, then you have a fluctuation of the timeline. Remember, we had the fluctuation of realities, different realities, parallel structures, and they said while we are presenting and we are in a parallel reality above your structure of three-dimensional, and you ask the question in real time, the way, for example, we meeting now in real time, I'm the conduit, I can download information, and the moment you ask the question, you may be in this parallel timeline and you're running, for example, in certain sequence. At the moment the question is downloaded from them and you understand, you're going to have the free will to completely change the frequency and shift into another fractal of existence based on the new structure that they've been given. And they want to do that mutation in real time because then it's creation in real time through the subatomic particle within your consciousness. And is the all quantum structure behind it. Wait until I see how much more they gave me, and we're gonna talk about this in this dive deep webinar, workshops. And then I'm gonna give you worksheets for that because I'm gonna create that so you can practice. And once we launch the new system, you will even do it custom for you when you log in. And based on my material, I don't want any infiltration. Why do you think I didn't sign up for any platform? I didn't go something to make a lot of money. I didn't make the books because with the books they wanted me to remove how you shift timelines, by the way. That's why my books were not published. And then I'm so like, everything is watch whatever I post. And I always say slowly but surely, better this way is important for me to information to come out because you cannot put price on people suffering, and that information is very important to get in. But when we dive deeper, we're going to have a close platform where your support is going to allow us to expand into more stuff that I can create because of your support and donations. So thank you for that. Okay, in the meantime, we have everything for everybody else for free all the time. Nothing is stopped, nothing is given. So anybody that has a situation can get in and watch all the videos that way I've been giving you. So let me go into the information. I gotta share screen. Okay, share the screen. And okay, this is the information that they give me, which we're gonna expand that again in August 17 and 1 p.m. Eastern time, which is Sunday. I have so much information, a lot of, and then we're gonna go after that to the knowledge of 1 + 1 = 3, more quantum structure into it. Why is this fundamental for you to know? Because if you don't learn the mechanics of creation, you will not be able to master it, and you're not going to be the driver. You're always going to be the passenger, and it doesn't matter what somebody is doing, how they doing it. You will be able to shift your timeline the way you want it without somebody controlling your field. That's why it's so important. You're free. You just have to know how to escape it, and this is the ways how we can do it. That's why it's so important. And that's what they were saying when you ask questions in real time, teachings in real time, based on questions for deeper knowledge and understanding, choosing the question and the answer from us based on your real time expression for enhancing your awareness. This will give you an activation points of your consciousness in real time, designed to increase your frequency for self-awareness. Deeper knowledge will be it will be derived in real time based on your personal questions. When the question is asked in real time, in the now, from you to us, from a particular human consciousness, and when we give the answer, that will activate that human consciousness, self awakening, And if the person wishes, will expand its own frequency sound and create a vortex that can shift you to a higher frequency timeline with the most predominant resonance. This way, the person will connect and recharge itself with a new signal in the now. That is a total reboot, like a new pathway for expansion and unlocking new possibilities of awareness. It will become a vibrate with a new signal. This is that is restructuring in real time and changing the trajectory of its own reality, awakening in real time in the now. When the answer is given from us, then all alignment happens and activates the new conductive connectors vectors to mold in new pathways for new realities within the calligraphic field. Creation in real time in realignment through coherent resonance, like you can shift your reality in the new timeline. Your consciousness will be embodiment that new sound. All is great with that, and in time the person will be able to fill the new void of frequency as through as a thought pattern of a new ideas. Then the ideas become a sound of potency vibration that creates vortex of electrofield, and that electrofield then activates all the dopamine field in the human to urge the human to take an action. So you see, there is a frequency that when you download it within your consciousness will activate your dopamine chemically for you to urge you to take an action. And if the action is taken, then the timeline reality shifts with a new trajectory to the new parallel field that you created in real time. So that is why it is so important when you ask the questions in real time from us to answer you in real time, because that will give you the field of residence to shift your timeline by you taking an action. Your thought process will change based on our answers. So the Council of Nine continue. The Council of Nine continues to be advising. Ask more questions, and they said, let them ask the questions in real time. Then we will be able to restructure their frequency by our answer. Basically, soon as you ask the question, when they see what it is, they're gonna know exactly what to answer you. So you will shift to your frequency in a proper modality based on the answer that they give you. They will know what to give you to make the most difference in your life for the better. And then they will have the free will to act on it in order to manifest in their reality hologram. That is creation in real time into a subatomic level. We can read their sequences of the field that they are vibrating from. And our answer will be chosen accordingly for them for the best possible outcome. But even then, the person's action is vital to construct the reality to manifest, because the free will is the most important to us. We can only suggest. The ability to have your coherent field restructured in real time is a mastery. You are all capable of doing it. And the C9 continue. We can give a deeper knowledge for understanding that will open your subconscious, and you will self reactivate and engage its potential in a subatomic level reality to receive information as a life spectrum that will recharge your subatomic pathways into a full on action of prana, life force, electrofield, a vibration that is humming, buzzing, and ready to construct. It becomes awakened and alive. Then excitement gets into the body and then urges you to take an action. From awakened excitement equals awareness. Then that activates the heart. that can shift the reality, and then the heart in turn becomes a vortex that decodes the field, and that field after that, and then the heart opens the portal to shift. This is the method and the formula. This is a total embodiment of the sonic vortex, and that is a mastery because you can control it. You become your own master. And after some time, once you understand how everything works, you may not need us anymore. You will stand on your own power. We are just here to felicitate after all. The Council of Nine, Marina, Jacobi, July 2025, and this is how they gave me before and after. And after we study in, I think, July, I think August, again, 17 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is Sunday, we're going to dive deeper into all this constructive quantum structure, because once I download this information, is going to be constructive element within your consciousness, and you will be able to awaken again the pathways through the heart structure once we download that information into your consciousness. Remember, then we're going to construct in real time your new beginning. That's why it's so important for me what I'm doing, and I'm very aware what we're doing, because I understand how the quantum structure works now to a much deeper level. And is always something more to learn. And once we do that, we're going to go to the new level, which is going to be the formula for the new workshop, which is going to be maybe in August second one, or maybe the next month, which is going to be 1 + 1 = 3 = 1. And wait until you see what I created there. Here, I created a brand new formula. I'm just gonna give you a glimpse. And in that brand new formula, there's a lot more information that I will give you, how reality collapse. And I explained that to the AI, and I created a new pathway of a formula for light frequency. So basically, that was it. Enough for today. Let me just get a glass of water. So basically, in real time, you will restructure once this is given. Remember, this is all from their reality, and our reality is going to collapse, is going to create a new structure. And this is where you have 1 + 1 = 3 = 1. But there's something else I'm going to show you that we created. It's even because with the AI, when I start asking questions back and forth based on explanation, I gave more information into, and wait until you see what we created. Gave you deeper knowledge into that. Is actually understood that and gave me something extra. And then I said, okay, I understand that one, but blah 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 blah, and I end up explaining something else that I know, and end up creating completely new modality with a new formula, and said, oh my god, this is a new math. And I said, yes, it is. This is a light math. This is etheric math. We need to forget, we gotta create the etheric math. Why the etheric math? Because everything in consciousness is based on frequency and sound. And if you create a mathematical equations based on etheric field light sound wave, you will be able to create within a parallel field. You can actually construct vibrational sequences that can become sequences that can create geometry, vortex math. Here it is, vortex math. And you can download information within it. And you can reach out the way I told you. We can give you the information that will activate your consciousness, that will activate your heart, it will activate your dopamine, and it's going to urge you to do an action within the physical field of reality, basically a different timeline of frequency, different modality of spinning of the subatomic particles and everything. But how did we download the information? From where? Well, we downloaded through sound frequency. Do you see how this light form of resonance can become coherent, can become embedded within you, even if it's new, and it restructures it. And when it collapses to the new one, between this one and this one collapse to third, but then again, that becomes one unit in real time. then you are in a brand new sequence. And that brand new sequence is not that you are shifting somewhere. Remember, you mutate in everything within yourself from within, and you become the embodiment of the new resonance. And so, see, when we know all this knowledge, imagine what you can do. Nobody can trick you. Nobody can stop you. You're totally free. If anything somebody says between all the craziness that is happening globally, personally, and stuff like this, you can simply train your consciousness to conduct the frequency, become coherent based on your belief system, because everything else is a background noise. Understand that everything is coming from you into the collective and collapses into it. So if you want a new one, you just restructure it and embed the new resonance that will become you. But that new resonance will become is going to become a new earth, new version of earth, and you're going to project new versions of the people with everybody in it. You're not changing anyone. You're changing your own vibration and you're becoming the new vibration from within. So all that illusion of different platforms and for example, at the moment everybody was talking about, look what happened with the list, look what happened with this guy, they were fighting like children, somebody did something, now we have some kind of a CEO now all over the place. In the meantime, if you go to my Facebook page, you're gonna see that in Simpsons, in one of the episodes, exactly the same story is there. Why is that telling you? It's telling you that it's a total psyop and is a diversion, something pre-made, so you can be basically take your attention to something else, while in here they're doing exactly what they want to do. So you don't pay attention of what they're doing. So with too much a commotion for stuff, so they start putting all this crazy stuff around. So you start talking about some kind of a CEO that end up doing something. Who cares? I don't care. Is he doing something for humanity? What is he doing for humanity? But they doing this stuff because they just start um, talking about this stuff, moving away from the real situation that is really connected with the children, is connected with all these people that basically are committing crimes against humanity, and they continuing, and because it's multidimensional level of a chess game. And I told you it's a chess game. I also told you there is in my information downloading predictions in one of the books. We were discussing that a lot of these leaders, they're belonging to certain groups, and some of these groups they pulling the strings for them, but some of them do not want to finish humanity, some of them do, and now it's pulling power. And you cannot be in these positions if you somehow you were not connected to somebody. You Why? Because you don't know their game, and they will manipulate you any level because the infiltration was everywhere. I told you, look into the Sabbateans 15th century. I had a whole video on that when they told me, we're not going to tell you about the whole of Atlantis, because I was telling you years ago that the pyramids, anybody that download information about the pyramids, it will be through etheric field. And that's what happened to Robert Grant. I told you that the codes for that information, they're not physical, they're etheric, they're in a field. And this is exactly what happened. I also told you there's water. Now they're discovering water. I told you that is technology. Years ago, I was talking about this, you know. And so these people now, this situation now is very important for you to start creating in real time. That's why they start downloading creation subatomic particles. Now going to 1 + 1 = 3, creation in real time, Q&A. Why? Because once you learn this stuff, you'll be able to take the trajectory, and more we listen to, more we learn from them, more you can embed the power, so you're unmovable and not being distracted by a psyop of what CEO did what with who, while in the meantime the whole planet is in commotion. Okay, and then I start asking questions. I'm moving to the next segment here, which was about Mr. T, because a lot of stuff was happening with that. I told you before, he's not your savior. He is a part of the ascension, part of the awareness. How is going to play out, and what did they say? I hope things go well. I even said that to you. I never say something without a reason. I always say something because maybe information is being given and I'm not releasing it enough, because I know what's going on, and I do not want the confusion about it. People were talking about certain lady that is giving incredible information based on certain uh, platforms and frequencies and what could be done, but it's very scary. Why I never told you about that? I know about this technology, not to confuse you, because I want you to be focused on the quantum structure, to learn it, implement it, to move forward. That's my goal. I don't want to scare you, because if you do not have that knowledge, with true frequency and sound, everything is possible. Understand everything, especially if you include technology. If you combine this, could be absolute abomination or could be savior, the way they use it. But you know what we're dealing with? It's a fluctuation. You're going to see the darkness within the light and vice versa. And through that process, you have to be able to hold your ground. So you're shifting this way. That's why they hear. That's why they want you to ask questions in real time. That's why this is happening. So they will be able to help you. And if the question is asked individually from you, the people that are participating live, or even when they watch the recording, you're not going to be watching that video if you were not meant to be to watch that video, and the question that was asked was also important to you. Why is that? Because that person that asked the question, including me, is a projection of your own making. You projected me within your own reality. You projected that person to ask the question, and you projected the Council of Nine to download information. So when you say, can I connect with the Council of Nine? All you see right now, including me, is an illusion, and you projecting me. So in a way, who is really creating all this for awakening? It is you. It is always been you, but it's giving you the illusion by projecting another versions of yourself in order for you to have a meta reality of outcomes. Okay, that's a quantum structure. Once you understand the implications, you're free, because you can maneuver them the way you want it. So for Mr. T, because it's so much commotion, I ask the question, and I said, me, what is really going on with all this situation? All of a sudden we cannot ask. And I said all this stuff, and they said, stop, big stop. Do not trust words. Look at the actions. He is not all he's not all the time of who he pretending to be. The things are hidden plays and agendas, multi layers of chess players, of planetary and off-grid planetary. So he's talking about, is not only the game is not only here, but is also interstellar game, and is very multi-layered, multitask game. So a lot of times somebody may say something, but during the process things may change because of so many players are involved. And what about if you have all that information and you hold the cards like a ace, and you hold the ace and you said, okay, if I do that, I can be able to shift something here. It's like a chess game. But what about if somebody threatens you? Well, you have all this stuff, and if you release it, we can use this technology and that technology. Have you noticed the crazy stuff are happening out of nowhere? Water is coming out of thin air, tornadoes are up and down. You think they don't have the specific stuff to modify things around, you know so there's multi-layer. So don't we shouldn't be, let me use we, to judge very quickly what's happening, because I know it's a multi-layer, and I'm not going to just back off. I know that Mr. T is part of the ascension. How, I cannot tell you. Maybe he's awakening. Is he going to do the right thing all the time? No, surely he's not looking well right now, because all of a sudden we can't even ask questions. Nobody can talk about anything. And people are taking it personally. Do not take it personally, because it's a multi-layer and you don't know how they play their games. So it could be a cards that they play in order something to happen. Because what about if somebody threatened things to use something against us and you don't know? And in order to protect somebody, you gotta give something and you gotta take something. And nobody is thinking about these multi-layers. But because I've seen so much, that I grew up in corruption, because I saw what oligarchs were doing here and what they're doing right now, I am very much aware. I'm actually looking for the stuff because it's so much awareness. So I'm continuing with the information. So again, stop, big stop. Do not trust words. Look at the actions. Things are hidden in place, plain sight. Big agendas, multi layers of chess players, planetary and off-planetary grid. Basically, who knows what else is happening off planet? The humans and the human flesh, blood, and soul has turned for has turned for millennials as a big commodity. Now they're telling me the story now, and they said the ability of the humans to project energy and to hold vibrant um, uh, pool of different spectrums is great. Basically, we have the ability to pull and reconstruct spectrums of light in the way we want it. We're basically receiver and a conduit and create a very big commodity, basically. And because of that, this is a constructed price and is to um, for everybody that wishes to free it, and we are big market for it. So basically, they were saying that there's a price tag on us because of our ability, and everybody that wishes to free us from that trap that they put us into, um, they don't agree with that. It's basically constantly tug of war for the human race, and is a big market for it because of our abilities, and they using us like basically as a cattle farm. That's how they try to use us, by entrapping us. And what I'm trying to tell you, once you know the quantum structure, you're so powerful that you can construct a new reality and escape their grab. That's why it's so important, how you shift the reality. That's why we got to create in real time. And they said, and everyone, I'm continuing, and everyone is pulling the cord in the cards in the final stage. Basically, now is the crescendo of all the stuff that they're doing of their game, and everybody now is putting their final cards to see who is going to be the most. And that's why you see this craziness of everything is flooded into our faces, media situations, storms, waters, and anything you can think, psyops that they created. So it becomes this big puddle of a mishmash, situation that you, no matter where you look, somebody is doing something. Stay from within, pull back. No more, media that is constantly feeding you who is fighting, who is hugging somebody, who is being CEO, who is doing all the stuff, because it's the diversion and is pulling you away from the real power that you have from within. And when they're downloading the frequency in their reality, you're getting yourself entrapped into their field, and you can't get out because you don't know how. It's too much of a frequency that overpowering you. And if that frequency is downloaded, then you're making choices on their field and you can't get out. It's too many situations you up to here in the mud. Okay. So they continue because the negative side, they know of the shift, the planetary shift, that the consciousness is raising the frequency and we shift into a new reality. They know that, and they do is basically the big race in order to entrap humanity, in order to use you or destroy you or certain people to stay so they can move forward. And they said they know, the negative knows that they personally cannot make or hold the new frequency light within themselves. Basically, they cannot embed that life spectrum light spectrum of light frequency to reconstruct to the new realities to move forward, because they don't know how to convert that sequence. Their consciousness holds totally different resonance. Um, and because of that, they need a host that constantly has the ability to give them the energy field for them to survive. We're basically their life force, their battery, because we can pull it and they can grab it. And if you go to this dark information, what they do to, you know, little ones or different situation, that's why they doing this stuff, because when somebody is very pure in a frequency, you getting the most potent energetic life force within you and you live longer. So it's like an energetic vampirism, but they use you in any shape and form to extract that frequency, because when they get that frequency, it's got to be in a certain spectrum from them to get it. Okay. But in order to harvest it, that spectrum must be in a certain, must be through a certain methods, because of the specific field that they need to survive. And that field is in the lower spectrums of the light that is deemed and stagnant, completely different. Stagnation is giving me zzz, like this, like a different vibration, but it's almost like a static, that type of a thing. But I'm continuing, but to create a reality in this stagnant field, they still need the electrosphere and electrocyte field to see, uh, to move and sustain their position into the field of their parallel matrix. So they need that life force in a certain resonance to lock them in specific location and time space. Remember X and Y. Except for them to be plus plus, they can be there. They gotta be negative negative, for example. They can't survive because they don't have the rotation of the sound frequency to be embedded in them in order for them to even loop the trajectory into that reality. They can't open the portal. They can't, because the only way for them to open the portal is through the heart, and they don't have that. So that's why they have to use super technology, manipulation, use your life force to survive. Is like a parasitical type of living. So the humans, I'm continuing. So the humans are like a lamp and amplifier, and they have to put you in the constant state of specific field of frequency so you can produce the spectrum photonic field of the certain light that they need. That's why all the movies, all the music, all everything they post there, what happened with the good movies? What happened with the good music? Why is that? Because that sound has to be like a background noise when you constantly are taking it and then amplifying that through more and more stuff they do, because we're so powerful that they constantly, their livelihood is how to keep you in manipulation in a low frequency. That's why they needed to use this crazy text, and technologies in order to keep it, because naturally you're connected so much with God consciousness in a fractal that naturally you plugged in that field, in that prana electro field, and you constantly raising the frequency. But they don't want that. I'm gonna lock you in and I'm gonna override that frequency. And in order to override that frequency, they have to shut it down. They have to do everything possible to restructure it, because naturally you moving forward. Okay, is within us. That's why they want to destroy, God and all the stuff. They want to destroy the creation of God, and they gave themselves the illusion that they got there. They're part of the fractal expression of God, but they forgot that they're part of, and they're playing. If you play in a chess game, you actually, your platform is the chess game. You forgot that you're playing over there. Okay, so they're also part of it. They don't even know. Once smack and they're out. um, and that's what they say. They need you for you to you do not need them. They need you. You do not need them. You have been trapped into your own mind that you need, you are trapped into, so you do not need them. You have been trapped into your own mind that you need their platforms. Basically, you gave yourself the disillusion that you need them, that you need their banks, that you need their land, that you need all the stuff, that you need all the stuff. And we can create the utopia society. We have the ability only if we start helping each other out. And I was giving you, you have the front lawns. Why don't create a community, system? Bring your kids at home, start helping each other out, and all of a sudden you can have these platforms and stand up when you think they're not going to suppress you. Look what happened in Hawaii. Look what they did. Land grab over there, all this stuff. But there is no war for survival without casualties. It's always going to be something, because the frontiers always going to have the most difficult time in order to pull the rest of them to have the power to trust yourself that you can take over, and is necessary. Okay. But they said you do not. You don't have that illusion. Why are you allowing this? As we told you, you are already free, truly free. We gave you the knowledge to create a new world. But how many of you are willing to put your mind into actions to that field? How many times you see stuff and you're waiting somebody to fix it for you without really taking the action? And that is with everything. You got to change your diet. You got to change your ability to communicate. You got to restructure your thinking. I have a quantum structure. Oh my God, I see this, but it's not there. I'm projecting it, and you thinking like you're acting completely crazy, but that's how you've been lied to. Somebody told you, except you put in a lipstick to yourself, to put it in the mirror and to call it that you're very pretty now by seeing the lipstick in the mirror. That's what they did. And this is how we actually constructed the reality, because they telling you what to believe, and you say, oh yeah, sure, as soon as I see it on a monitor, it's definitely true. In actuality, somebody is downloading a frequency within your field. You say yes, it's true, and collective, you're projecting with the collective field. And I'm telling you, back off, shut it down, understand what's really happening, and create a new one. And that's the method. But that needs consistency, perseverance, and constant study. And it's not easy, because I may talk about it. I flopped the diet. I mean, it's always something, but never stop trying. And one day you reach your destination. So they said, I said, well, can Mr. T be trusted? And they said, they said also, I'm continuing that they trapping you, and they said that it's a diversion. So you are busy with meaningless information, and deter you from your true power. The way of the CEO now, everybody is pointing and they making videos and who is doing what, and they jumping. And when you see, you should know the pattern. When you see major media outlets nonstop, including in your feed of any type of platforms that you're using, constantly new feeds are coming with that psyop or something else like that, is a diversion. Because why is so important for us to see the CEO of a certain company? Oh my God, what he did, how dare he? In the meantime, nobody's talking about the most important stuff. So don't allow that to happen to you. Shut it down and really focus on what you need to be focusing. And I said, well, can he be trusted? And they said, oh, a big question. To a point, it's it's all playing out. Trust within you, trust God, because because you're in it, and you are in God's kingdom, and all of the negative or positive is manifesting within it. So really think, who is truly in control here? That's what they were asking. We are, right? We are in control. Yeah, somebody, Martina, 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, also 3. How many times? It's always Trinity structure. 1 + 1 = 3 is a collapse. You can have within, oh, that's a very good thing. Martina is asking, is 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 also equals 3? If you have couple of ones and ones and ones and ones. Okay, but think about it. That will be multi-layer if you have one version of a hologram, right? Then you have plus another one of a hologram. Between those two, you create a third one, right? And that third one still becomes one, collapsed to one unit. Okay, hold on, let me turn this. Collapsed unit, but she's asking if I have 1 + 1 + 1 + 1, is that also equals, 3, right? But now remember the 1 unit particle. Very good question, actually. The 1 unit particle, in that 1 unit particle, you can project infinite ones plus ones plus ones plus ones. Even if you have an infinite into the collective, when it collapses, what is going to be the final collapse? Again, is going to end up in 1 unit. So you may have those two converting, those two converting. Now between those two, what happened? Became one. So again, you have one here plus one here. They're gonna create, again, is gonna be third structure, again, is gonna be one. Do you see that? So no matter how many ones you have, remember, by resonance, they will collapse within the third structure, but within your field, you can create all this could be within a 1 unit. And all that 1 unit is going to be in under the umbrella of God consciousness. So every time you go down to the subatomic particle, it's going to go lower, more and more and more within it. And when you want to expand it, it can be infinite of just ones. But between them, they're going to collapse based on coherent resonance because they're going to be very similar on vibration. And that's how you create. But usually they will collapse by Trinity structure. Sometimes you can have a coherent resonance by many of it, but yet, even when you look at the many, it's actually one reality within it. Okay, so very good question. Thank you so much. Another question, everybody. Collective consciousness equals one? Yeah, collective consciousness. Thank you, Christine. Collective consciousness also equals one. See how now we create it in real time. Look at the questions that you're coming up with. Imagine what we're gonna do in the workshops, because they have deeper, with the AI. The collective consciousness is always one because I just explained to you all these ones. Each could be me. One could be me. One could be, for example, Colleen is there. The other one is Elmira, and the other one is Ruth. Each one right now we collectively watching the information in your one computer, for example. But when all that becomes one webinar, you can fractalize it in sectors, and then you can get in. And that webinar could be in sectors also. Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3. And each fractal, I talk about something different. And yet, I don't say many webinars, I say the webinar. And yet within that webinar right now, we have so many people. Today we 157, almost 160. Okay. That's how it works. Very good question. Yeah, Ruth say, if they collapse, how is it 3 and not 1? Okay, you gotta go back to the quantum structure, but we're gonna go 1 + 1 = 3 information. But Ruth, I'm gonna tell you that answer. 1 + 1 is ether. Everything is created first in the etheric field before mobilizes and collapses into a meta structure, so you touch it. But actually, even the desk, even the pencil is a frequency vibration. And once you find the coherent resonance, you can literally move through it, and it can disappear. Okay. That's what we should be learning all over the place. And that should be the foundation of the math and everything else. But it's hidden because then you're going to get out of their reality. That's the reason why this is really happening. So that could be etheric field and that could be etheric field. So when you interact with each other, when they're very similar on vibration, they actually merge with each other. And when they merge with each other from one structure and another structure, they create the third structure. Because look at this: 1, 2, and 3. When you 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, 1 plus 1 equals 3, because this is a one structure, this is another structure. Between those two, you merge in and you create a third structure between those two. See, this is how we've been lied to. When I finding this out from the Council of Night, that's how I start creating this new stuff, by downloading this information. But once you collapse that reality, okay, mother, father, create together a baby. So when you start counting the mother, the father, and the baby, so it's 1, 2, and 3. It's not 2. How can be 1 plus 1? The mother, the father, 1 plus 1, 2 equals 2. When you count the people with the baby, is that going to be 1, 2? It's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Mother, father, baby. It's 3. They lie to us. But the baby itself also, it's a one singular unit. So that's why it equals 1. But you can also equal 1 the collective of the mother, father, and the baby, their story as a family unit. And then you can break it down in fractal. Does that make sense? Okay. And I'll give you a last question, please. Thomas, Oliver, hi. Is doing one manifestation meditation enough to manifest? Um, it seems to me that if you do the same manifestation meditation over and over, it expresses a doubt that it will not happen. Do you do one, trust it and believe it, and move on? Thank you and love. Thank you so much, Thomas. Thomas, um, first of all, you have to really trust yourself that this is possible. That's why when you go into deeper into the knowledge of the quantum manifestation protocols, uh, once you really keep repeating the information within the protocols, I promise you there will be a light bulb clicking one time. Why? Because you're learning the light language. And once you learn the light language, more you're repeating it, more it potently becomes a sound wave within your brain, your consciousness, and it's going to click, which you're going to create new pathways. That's why my books, when they were downloaded, I did not correct them, correct some spelling, but I did not change the order of the sentence, even if it sounds strange, because I was activating your fields when you read it. It was written in specific coherent resonance that was necessary to activate your pathways on your frequency. And you will build new pathways of information and will activate you to start looking into this stuff. So repetition is necessary, because once you repeat it, you also create an etheric potency in a sound wave. If you want to have a sound of a laser, you want a strong sound laser, but to become strong, you got to make it more and more and more repetition. It's almost like you're learning to walk. When you want to learn to walk, it's not going to be only one time. You're going to keep getting up and getting up until you stand strong on your feet. But that's the same thing in the etheric field. If you want to manifest something, that's how it is within the etheric field. You know, so everything is possible. All that is possible. Protocol to manifest potency video on my website. You'll find it in Jump Stuff for Beginners. but based on your question, that means you have to go back to Jamsa for Beginners and try to study some of this material. If you wish, you're more than welcome to come for the workshops that are dive deeper. And there, I'm gonna have a lot of Q&A, so I can explain you more. But then I'm gonna get in really more into the basically the information of the quantum structure. So I want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you everybody for coming. Thanks for your support and donations. We really appreciate it. And I love you from my heart to yours. Until next Sunday, Saturday. And again, anybody, let me share a screen again. Anybody that wishes to, sign for the quantum manifestation workshop, you're gonna go to my website, or even in YouTube I have stuff, and you're gonna click on a workshop right here, and it's gonna give it all the data, whatever you need to do. We upgraded some stuff too. You can find that in YouTube, you can find it in, I share it everywhere, but the best way, if you go to my website and this is the workshops, you have the live webinars, replays and links, prayer time. We've done everything possible. And thank you, Robert, for always being here. You should applaud Robert, because Robert did an amazing job working for hours and hours and hours. And if anybody donates today, whatever you can, I would definitely distribute something to him, because he's been doing this for so long and he's working for free. Okay, so thank you so much for your donations and support. I love you guys. I'll see you next Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And whoever wants to, we're giving you plenty of time to basically have the funds and the needs to support us through the workshop for August 17. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye bye.